Okay, let's chew on the opportunities.
Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I see. There's the talk about the presidential jet this morning. The Daily Guide has a story from Samuel Abujinapo, who was here a couple of months back, or weeks back, I should say. 2 presidential jets and copters are costing us 13.1 billion Ghana cedis. That's the claim that the ranking on the Foreign Affairs Committee is making, Samuel Abujinapo there, pointing out how much it will cost us if we buy new presidential jets. Apparently, the foreign minister was on the floor of the House answering a lot of questions, including questions even on the the deportation of some West African nationals and using Ghana as a third state. He's been providing some answers on that as well. Probably we'll dig in the course of the conversation on the newspapers. But there's a talk also about what the assurance from the Attorney General is, that they're working to extradite the ex-MASLOC CEO, said Natamaklu. You remember her case, right?
Yeah.
Tried in absentia, and the court found her guilty. The AG says, look, regardless of the fact that she belongs to our party, we're making efforts at bringing her back. I don't know if that's also setting the pace for what may happen to some others who are at large.
Why not? If you tried and found guilty, yeah, you have to serve your sentence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you're brought in, why not?
It depends on the country you run to, by the way.
Oh, yes, but that's true. But Blessed, the thing about the helicopters and the presidential jets,
yes.
You see, I have always said something. In fact, years ago, I think it was on the 1st of October 2018 or so, when I posted on Facebook, be careful what you say in opposition. Because soon, you'll be in government. Then, you're faced with the reality. In times past, whenever conversations about the purchasing of a new presidential jet came up, it was fought as if, and we know, for instance, that the current presidential jet we're using was ordered by President J. Kufuor.
Yes.
He never sat in it as President of the Republic of Ghana. Professor Mills used it. So even if Akufo-Addo at the time was going to order any presidential jet, it was likely he wasn't going to be the beneficiary of it.
Right.
It wasn't going to benefit him. Today, for those who said it wasn't necessary at the time, what are they going to tell us? I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I am not against the acquisition of presidential jets for the president and helicopters for the military. Okay? Because the safety of the president should be paramount. But there's one thing our politicians must learn. Don't criticize just because you are in opposition. Because when you get into office, the things you said in the past would come haunting you.
Looks like Abujinapo is stating his reasons why he believes this will not be the right time for us to get those jets. According to the MP, it's unacceptable for government to move ahead with the plans to procure 4 helicopters, 2 presidential jets, at a time when, quote, nurses, teachers, and other public workers are struggling to receive their salaries, unquote. So that's the basis for his argument.
And I've made my I've made my point. Particularly for the military. The military needs retooling.
Yeah, they do.
We cannot play politics
with
that. Sadly, these helicopters are not going to get into the country tomorrow or next year.
Yeah. Because
they are now going to be manufactured. If we are fortunate and somebody cancels this order, we can get it. Because what I have learned is that we've been trying to get to
expedite the time.
Yeah, but you can't do that unless So they're trying to deal with the manufacturer. Just make sure everything is done properly. Yeah. But I say,
be careful.
Let us be careful of the things that we say. So today, for those who are against the acquisition of a new presidential jet, can they? And you've seen how all of a sudden they're going to. So, but let me just address the issue of nurses and
teachers are being paid.
We need teachers.
Mm-hmm.
We need teachers.
Yes, we do. We need nurses too.
I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
The nurses that we need, can they be absorbed by the private sector? Can they?
Well, partly.
We've actually exceeded our nurse to patient ratio.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing well as a country. These nurses, why don't they go into private practice?
Yeah, but where are the hospitals? That's the question.
Private facilities springing up daily.
Anyway,
I mean, in my area, I've seen 2 or 3 private hospitals springing up.
Okay.
So they should go and get jobs, and that's why I say that.
Yeah.
I do not, in God's name, understand why we pay nurses trainee allowances.
You're also against allowances.
I'm against that.
How will you win elections in this country if you're against allowances?
But that's our problem. That's our problem. That is not judicious use of funds. I have been speaking against nursing and teacher trainee allowances since 2016 when they started talking about
yes.
it. I have been against
they promised that actually.
Because it doesn't make economic sense. But you see, in Ghana, all we think about is political power.
Anyway.
So our conversations are not about national development. We don't have conversations about the things that would help the country. Yes. So every day is about who will win the next election. Because if we're serious, today, you blessed. Why today? Am I saying that if I take my child to secondary school, I cannot pay his fees? I can pay that boy's fees. So the person who deserves it the most
should be targeted.
Should be targeted and given the opportunity to enjoy that. But
we all pay taxes.
You see, we all pay taxes based on what you earn.
Yeah.
If you earn more, you pay more. If you earn little, you pay little.
Yeah.
The idea is that for the man who earns little, he for the purpose of fairness and equity and all of that, you must also pay a little bit to government. Okay? Yeah. So that it just doesn't have to be the one who earns more taking care of the country. But if you earn more and you pay more, it would not hurt you. So we say if you earn more, like you do, blessed, pay more.
Amen to that. Anyway, 3 legal miners die in health. That's the Heath Goldfields concession. It was a sad one. We had the sector minister also commenting on that, and of course sharing his thoughts with the families affected. So illegal mining still ravaging our communities and people dying out of it. In fact, we understand and are learning that some members of the NAIMOS team have also been involved in an accident. That was a very hard one to hear. So that's the update we have on that. And then there's the talk about the ECOWAS court to hear Tokono's removal case, all captured on the front page of the Daily Guide this morning. Let's
get on to the phone lines. Erastus Asari Donko has joined us. You talked about the NAIMOS persons who died and were involved in that deadly accident, fatal accident. Let's get to Erastus to tell us more about that. Erastus, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us, what really happened?
Well, sir, I must say it's a very sad day for the country. These are brave men who are serving the country. In fact, when you look at the team that was conducting operations at the Obuasi airstrip area, illegal miners had taken over the airstrip and surrounding environs and digging out almost everywhere. So they've been there for about 3 days now. A skeleton team was left at the scene to maintain security and also to assist for them to use 2 bulldozers to reclaim the land and cover the pits that have been dug. And others, I think the majority of them were also sent to Anyanfutu Forest Reserve, where illegal miners have invaded again. So they had completed their day's activity and they were getting back to their base in Obuasi when the accident occurred. In fact, it was one of the NAIMOS pickup vehicles. I understand the road is a rough road with lots of chippings and others. So the vehicle will then skidded off the road and somersaulted several times. Currently, what we do know is that one soldier, a young soldier, lost his life in that accident. His remains have already been airlifted to the 37 military hospital morgue for identification by the family. The family have also been notified as of yesterday. The others, 4 others, one of them is an immigration personnel, 2 of them are police personnel, and then there's one National Investigation Bureau officer. 3 of them are in critical condition. One is a bit okay, but doctors at the Obuasi AG hospital have been able to stabilize them as we speak, and so they are responding to treatment. So far, that is what we know, and the officer we know is also from the 54 Regiment of the Ghana Force.
All right, Erastus, thank you very much for that update. May his soul rest in perfect peace, and we pray for quick recovery of the remainder.
Right, thanks.
Thank you. And that's Erastus joining us. Sometimes, these are persons who are ensuring that our environment is protected.
Yeah.
Now, this man has lost his life because he was just going to prevent people from doing the wrong things. People who have deliberately decided to destroy our environment. If for nothing at all, his death should not be in vain. Major Mahama died.
Yeah.
We're still engaged in illegal mining. For how long shall we continue? Let's get to the Business and Financial Times. And it says producer inflation drops to 1.4% in October, lowest in 4 years. VAT reforms to drive 2026 revenue. Comes to the photograph of the Commissioner General of the GRA. Government weighs state-led takeover of Springfield asset. And Ministry of Finance defends 20% VAT against industry plea for 10%. Now, ADB to be recapitalized as bank posts strongest financial performance in years. Okay, so that story, blessed, about ADB, if you get to the Business and Financial Times this morning, is talking about the fact that they're going to be recapitalized, but they've been posting some great financial performance. Let me just share details of that with you. And so we're told that the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasia Latofo Singh, has announced the government's decision to recapitalize the Agricultural Development Bank in the coming days. The announcement was made by the Finance Minister as part of the 2026 budget that he presented to Parliament, and the decision has been hailed as timely and strategic, especially coming at the moment when the bank is delivering its most impressive financial performance in decades. ADB posted pre-tax profit of 447 million for the third quarter of 2025, more than double the 176 million recorded over the same period last year. Now, profit after tax also surged to 288 million, with the total operating income climbed to 1.71 billion, supported by solid growth in both interest and non-interest income. And the bank's liquidity ratio is well above regulatory thresholds, ensuring comfort and easy access to funds and other banking transactions at any time by their customers.
The overseer is talking about the Economic and Organized Crime Office. The front page talks about the return of the organization to court. They're seeking tougher bail terms for the ex-managing director for BOST, Edwin Provencal. I mean, this is bringing up the issue about the appeal constantly by some well-meaning Ghanaians that, look, yes, they may have committed some crimes, or we're yet to know even if the courts will agree with all these prosecution and their case that some of these people were engaged in some infractions or otherwise. But the concern also is about the bail conditions being given to these individuals. Well, EOCO on the other side believes that the terms match the cases involved and the amounts involved, and that's why they're giving some of these bail terms. So the overseer is talking about that this morning. Then the finance minister says that he's cleaning up the mess.
Now let's listen to the CEO, the executive director of EOCO.
By the way, I think some of the lawyers think that we have disrupted the bail system, and I will explain my philosophy to you. And it's very simple. I consider bail and sureties, or I liken it to the collateral you give for a loan. When you give a collateral that is less than the loan you take, there's no motivation to pay back. You can let the loan go run its length, and then there's no collateral to fall back, and you go into default. In the same way, bail is connected to a case. So imagine if I have a case of 100 million, the exposure or the risk. We do a lot of investigation for the banks, for example, where somebody has stolen $90 million. And then you catch the suspect, then you give him a bail of $20 million. Now, like I told you, assume at every point that every criminal is at least above average intelligence. The fact that he beat the banking compliance and everybody to steal that money tells you he's not your average Joe. So he has 90 million, you give him a bail of 20 million. He's looking left, he's looking right. Look, the person who stood surety for me, your exposure is 20 million. I'm giving you 25 million. I'm gone.
All right, so that's Raymond Archer.
Yep.
He's explaining why they do that. Yes, let's continue with the overseer.
The overseer was just talking about the finance minister indicating that he's cleaning up the mess of the NPP. And there's the talk about the agri minister. Government is expanding the irrigation infrastructure nationwide, we understand. And that will be happening in the coming days, or it's actually underway, according to the agri minister, Eric Opoko.
The Ghanaian Times says 2026 year of infrastructure development. President Mahama declares 38 property owners in Sunyani face legal action. Block IFF's plug tax leakages to boost revenue generation is set to government, and President pledges Ghana's support to host World Assemblies of God Congress next year. Backpage, Kokma outlines plans to redevelop Kimbu into Mording Mini Park. That's a Kolote Kole and the Municipal Assembly, and Ghana to host 2025 Data Protection Africa Summit Picasso Awards. All here. Let's go online.
There's a showdown online. It's between the lawyer Martin Pevu and our special prosecutor. He should have resigned by now. Guess who he's talking about? He's talking about the special prosecutor.
Martin Pevu is talking about the special prosecutor. He should have resigned by now. Okay.
That's not easy. I mean, fighting corruption in this country is a big one. And well, we wait to see what the OSP will say about that. But for Martin Pevu, he believes that, of course, the office, the one in charge, the Kisi Ejabeng, ought to step aside particularly because of the finance minister, former finance minister, who is under prosecution now. Airport alert could have stopped Oforiatta from leaving. Again, Martin just explaining why he believes the OSP gave the former finance minister away, not gave him away, actually allowed him to leave the country, according to Martin Pevu. And then there's a talk about government giving some financial clearance for persons recruited into the public service months before the 2024 financial year. That's according to the employment minister. And these are some of the stories that you'd find on myjoyonline.com when you log on. The bigger story on City Newsroom is restore road tolls. That's also a call coming through from some experts as well, and Professor Kwoti, actually.
All right.